Hello, we will now begin our GTP218 Acoustic and Phonetics presentation with the introduction of the presenters. I am Nik Anis from Audiology program. Next.
Hi, my name is Sahira Liyana from Audiology program. Next.
Today, we will be discussing about the list of phonological processes based on our patient, TK's speech transcription. Next, we will discuss between the dialectal and disordered phonological features. The first one, phonological processes based on TK's speech transcription. The table shows TK's speech production compared to targeted production according to the word given. For the first 5 words, fan to pen is the stopping fricative f to p. Next, fat to pair, stopping fricative f to p, and glottal replacement. The next one, fish to fish, stopping fricative f to p, coat to co is glottal replacement, and not to no is also glottal replacement. Next.
The next word is thumb, where TK pronounce it as thumb, stopping voiceless fricative to voiceless plosive t at the initial. The next word is tree, where TK pronounce it as tree, stopping voiceless fricative to voiceless plosive t at the initial. The next word is C. TK pronounce it as T, stopping voiceless fricative to voiceless plosive t at the initial. Next. The next word is sock, where TK pronounce it as to, stopping voiceless fricative to voiceless plosive t at the initial, and the glottal replacement voiceless plosive k to glottal stop at the final. And the next word is soap. TK pronounce it as toe, where stopping voiceless fricative s to voiceless plosive t at the initial, and simplification of diphthong, where diphthong o replaced by vowel o at the middle, and the glottal replacement voiceless plosive p to glottal stop at the final position. Next.
Now, we will continue the presentation with the discussion between the dialectal and disordered phonological features. First of all, children who are bilingual or multilingual can influence their pronunciation when they learn a new language, as they carry a set of phonetic traits of the primary language. Accent or dialects are not considered as disorders, but rather reflect differences between regions or countries. A speaker's dialect will govern language system reflecting regional and social background of the speaker can influence sounds substitutions and omissions. It should be noted that dialect variations of a language include all linguistic parameters, which are phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Therefore, it is not considered as a speech error. Next, Sahira will talk about the definition of phonological processes.
Thank you, Nik. So, for the phonological disorder occurs when phonological processes persist beyond the age when most typically developing children have stopped using them, or when processes used are much different than what would be expected.
Okay, so for now, for the stopping f to p, what is the relation between a picture of a South Korean public and TK? Based on dialectal, TK may be a Korean using American English, so he pronounced f as p, as there is no f sound and no differences between f or b and v in Hangul, Korean language. Therefore, it is common for him to hear people say pan instead of fan. However, based on disordered phonological process, TK can be diagnosed with phonological process disorder as he still have the trouble of regular f to p sound mistake past the expected age. This is because stopping of fricative is only considered as a normal phonological process if it is eliminated between 3 to 5 years old of age. As for the glottal replacement, TK may be a British or lives in British region as it is common for British to drop the sound, producing a glottal stop in their pronunciation, known as deglottalization. The t sound is still there, but It is pronounced differently or changed into another sound if it is in the middle or at the end of a word. According to the dialectal version of the British region, it is most commonly in London, Leeds, Edinburgh, and Glasgow. The sound is pronounced before vowel sounds as well as before consonant sound. For example, cat as cat, report as report. However, based on disordered phonological process, TK can be diagnosed with articulation disorder if he does not have British nationality or never lives in any British region. TK may have a cleft palate speech, making him to have error in speech sound, which is glottal stop, as he will omit sound like a consonant when he releases air, as he forces his vocal cords together. Therefore, he will pronounce not as no, constraining the sound in word final position. I will now let Sahira to lead the presentation.
Thank you, Nik. Now we resume the presentation with the stopping of th. Several dialects features the th stopping, where dental fricative th and z becomes alveolar stop t and d. Next, so based on dialectal, the substitution of th with t is commonly influenced by Mandarin Chinese. So the influence of this language will result in pronunciation errors because the sound th is absent in Mandarin Chinese. Hence, t is chosen as it is the nearest sound to th. Based on the disordered phonological features, TK might have phonological disorder because he failed to eliminate the th stopping at the age of 5 years old, as he is now 6 years old. Next slide. Stopping s to t. So based on the disordered phonological process, TK might have phonological disorder too because he failed to eliminate the S stopping, which is expected to eliminate at the age of 3 years old, like other normal developing children. Next slide. And the last one is the substitution of diphthong O with O. Based on dialectal features, English diphthong like O does not exist in other language, make it difficult for speakers that acquire the English language as the second language to produce the sound. So they will substitute the sound with solid vowels, and this process is known as monophthongization. We are now at the end of our presentation, so here are our resources. And with that, we would like to say thank you for your attention.